Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 45 of the 72 review. The chat is already going absolutely crazy, which we love to see. We will get through a number of comments before we get started, but I'm going to go around the screen and introduce everybody who's on the panel. It is the first team. We're back as a awesome foursome. Jake, hope you're doing well. We'll start with you. Introduce yourself, let people know who you are, what you do, and why you do it. And you're looking very well. It's nice to have you back.
Yeah, I'm feeling better than I did. I don't recommend smashing your head on a set of nesting tables at 2 a.m. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. It doesn't end well. I'm Punk Chef 41. I cover Sheffield Wednesday for God knows whatever reason. Then I'm mental at the moment. Been doing it since the 2012 season. I want to say basically a long time. And yeah. I've had a couple of rants, and now I'm going to have my group therapy session where I hopefully won't rant anymore. And there isn't a kill list or anything like that, so you don't have to be worried.
The result today has slightly improved Jake's and Lee's mood, though. The news just in: Sheffield United getting 8-0 in their own back garden by Newcastle. We'll stay with Sheffield Wednesday. Below me is Lee from Around the Grounds. Introduce yourself, tell people what you do and why you do it, mate.
Do we have to stay with Sheffield Wednesday? No, I'm Lee, Around the Grounds, footy vlogger, ground hopper, absolutely loving YouTube, and pleasure to be a part of this and have the dream team all back together again tonight.
Lovely stuff. And to round the dream team off, the place isn't the same without him. It is Ian. Ian, introduce yourself, tell us what you do and why you do it, mate.
Hello, I'm Ian. I'm a 61-year-old Rotherham supporter that should know better, really. I'm a season ticket holder at New York Stadium, but when the Millers are away, I'm around the country vlogging for Over the Bar YouTube channel. I'm loving every minute of it. And
cracking
also,
stuff.
Welcome back, Jake.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for everyone in the comments in last week as well. I was watching it a little bit dazed last week. And you know what the worst part about the entire thing? I got back home. I was like, oh, I'll listen to football. That might make me feel better. Did it help?
Links to all of these guys' YouTubes is in the description down below, as always. Before we do get started, though, I do want to just pay tribute to a few people who have unfortunately passed away this past week. Maddie Kuzak played for Sheffield United and was a big part of the Sheffield United setup. Josh Vickers' wife, who I believe he played for Rotherham, now plays for Derby. She lost her fight with cancer, unfortunately, and they got married only a couple of months ago. Cancer is a big thing for myself and Lee. I'm not sure about the other two guys who raise money yearly for Eves Trust in Doncaster, so it's something that's close to our heart. And also the team that we played, Gillingham, one of their fans, Kanan O'Dell, at 28 years old, it sounds like he committed suicide. So I just want to say that my DMs are always open. This area is a safe space for people to talk. It's much easier to, well, I say it's easier. It's much better to get it out there and talk to people than feel like you're going through things on your own. And that's what we want to build here. We want to build a community that feels safe to open up to each other. So my DMs are always open, as are the other guys as well. So thoughts with everybody connected to all of those this week.
Never ever feel like you're on your own. Never feel like that it's just you against the world. Everyone will help fight your corner. If you just need to chat in DM for an hour, we'll chat in DM for an hour. I'd rather have somebody on this planet than not at all. And the thing is, as much as I've lost so many people to suicide, sadly, and cancer, it's just horrible. And the problem is, if you don't understand how it feels afterwards when the person's gone, then the people having to pick up the pieces. But I will never, ever also had the thing, you never know what that person's going through. So always just be mindful. Like I've started doing when I do a debrief or a roundup, we're doing a mental health check-in. And all I say is 1 to 10, how you feeling? 10 being the best, 1 being bad. And we just try and have it out before we start a show. So just keep your heads up. If you need to chat, please chat to any of us. We'll help you which way we can or put you in the right direction.
Yeah. For me, Dan, I felt a bit flat this week with what I've got going on. elsewhere, and just being at football, being with my mates, it just took my mind away, and that's a massive thing for football. We're all one community and we stick together, don't we?
It's escapism.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is indeed. So please don't suffer on your own. We're here, and there's other people that are there as well. Okay, before we start on the show, let's have a quick look through the comments because we've been absolutely hammered by them. Mr. Barnsley, 2023 is already on the banter bus. Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, not your weekend. Should be in Sunday League if you can't win. But we'll be starting with a Barnsley defeat because Ian went and watched that one. So, but you did return that this weekend with a 2-1 win. He's saying Big Sam's still waiting for the phone call about the job. Would you take Big Sam?
No, it'd be cost too much money. You not seen them? We do bargain bin.
We've got Burton. Good evening from Burton. Daniel, come on, yeah. Obviously, great result for the Rovers. Mr. Barnsley, smash the like button. So yeah, please get the likes up. Let's get this shared. 80 ID Tuesday never happened, by the way. Okay, so I think I've kind of caught up. We've got Joseph 0-8. At least we beat Newcastle. There we go.
Yeah, we did actually, didn't we? Yeah. Oh, happy times.
So let's get my act together, Dan. What are you doing? We'll start with League One. Okay, Ian, you went to Barnsley against Portsmouth on Tuesday night. Talk us through what you saw in this one, mate.
Well, first of all, I'd like to give credit to both teams because it was a fantastic advert for League One football. Both teams just went for it. There were no staying back, laying back. Portsmouth had the most incredible start. The first goal from 6 minutes, I think you were a little bit dubious because Colby Bishop got a through ball and he actually went through with a shot before he got clattered by the Barnsley keeper. But the referee gave a penalty anyway and Colby Bishop just tucked it away. And then virtually straight from the kickoff, Colby Bishop got the ball again on halfway and put Paddy Lane through, and he just ran through and finished fantastically. 2-0 after 8 minutes. And Portsmouth, they were just attacking at will, and Barnsley looked so brittle. And Conor Ogilvie scored with a typical centre-back's goal from a right-wing cross, and it was 3-0 after 16 minutes. And for the rest of the first half, Portsmouth could have had more. Barnsley just looked shell-shocked. And if Pompey had gone in 5-0 up, it wouldn't have been unfair. So whatever Neil Collins said at half-time certainly worked because Barnsley came out a different animal in the second half. And Cotter got a good goal back. It was well worked just after half-time on 49 minutes. And then it was just like the Alamo for the rest of the time. Barnsley attack. It would attack against defence. They got one back, Callum Styles' header from about the penalty spot that were fumbled by the Pompey keeper. 3-2. And then Barnsley game on, yeah. And then Barnsley kept attacking. Sam Cosgrove had 2 presentable chances. One of them I would have classed as a sitter that he headed wide. But in the end, Portsmouth hung on and got the 3 points. But it was a fantastic match to watch.
Yeah, I think Tom from Port. Sorry, Ian, go on.
Yeah, if you see it sent by the stats, I mean, 31 shots between them. Superb game of football. I really enjoyed it. As a neutral, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think Tom from Falling Over It and All Over It said that they're still top of the table, but it's a little rough around the edges. So are you seeing that from a neutral looking that they were kind of in control and then they've almost let it slip?
Going forward, Pompey look excellent. Look really good. Marlon Pack in the middle of the park were the best player on the pitch for me. Really, really good. They've got a good midfield. They've got Colby Bishop scoring, Paddy Lane doing bits. But defensively, they don't look the best.
No.
Yesterday, but they conceded again against Lincoln. So I think if anything's going to let Pompey down, it's going to be the defence. But I've got to pay tribute to the 650 plus Pompey
They
fans
always take a load.
came all the way to Barnsley for a Tuesday night match. That is support.
Yeah, support's different level, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely.
But yeah,
stuff.
I fully enjoyed it.
Happy days. We always give Nappers, Ben, and Cod's Vlogs a shout out for League One because obviously I'm a League Two fan, and then the three other gents are in the Championship at the minute. I'll get that in there. But yeah, League One, he does a deep dive on his channel, and I think that's starting at 8 o'clock. So if you want a little bit more detail on all of League One, we do recommend going and watching him. Very good content creator. But in terms of this weekend's League One, we've got One Rovers vlogs in here, so I think it's a good place to start, isn't it? They had a really good result when I can find them. There they are. 4-1 win over Wigan Athletic.
Oh God, I've got to use the klaxon twice here, haven't I?
Yes.
Yeah, you will.
Lovely stuff. So he did get a comment in. So Charlie said Jack Hunt is like prime Cafu, a goal and assist yesterday. What a player!
He's a cracking player.
Sheffield
Got
Wednesday.
a lot of time for Jack Hunt. He's always put 100% in whenever he wore Wednesday shirt, and I think
we had him on loan as well at one time from Jack Hunt.
I think when we had him, we just couldn't seem to get him into the team properly. But when he first team on the sheet, he just plays. He knows what he's doing. He's just a all-round professional. But that is a demolition of Wigan. Bristol Rovers they're a team to look out for, I think. I think if they get a run going, they're a team to look out for. Because you look at them, they've got some really good players. The fact that they still got Collins is a shock to me because I thought he might have gone in the window.
We have to be careful how we're saying Jack Hunt's name.
Yeah, I know.
Demonetization is on the way.
Jack Paws Hunt. Yeah.
I like that.
But no, it's a cracking result for Bristol Rovers. And looking at the table, we'll start looking at the table from here on in. We're nearly at the 10-game mark, but it's just giving them a little bit of breathing. Sorry. I'm only saying it because we've climbed it a little bit.
I know that's why you only started doing it.
Yeah, because we're not in the bottom two.
If you were still naff, you wouldn't be looking.
I think we'll stick with 4-1 results. We had Blackpool against Reading.
Oh, for God's sake!
Sorry, one Claxon.
I know.
3 times.
It was absolutely toss at Wednesday. Why is it this player can go to any other club in the league, be really good, but he comes to Wednesday? Nah, you're going to be absolute dog.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that with Jordan Rhodes, I'm surprised. I'm surprised he's gone to Blackpool because I thought Huddersfield had hung back onto him at the end of last season.
Yeah, I mean, he's on loan at Blackpool, isn't he?
Jake's just setting the precedents for this evening with the rants.
Yeah.
Did you also
not a bad replacement. Not a bad replacement for Jerry Yates, that though.
No, he's not.
But how old is he?
33.
Yeah.
But he still knows where the goal is. Obvious. And I'm not too disappointed that it were Reading that were on the end of it. Because
Reading look like they're in trouble.
Serious problems.
They look like they've got a lot of problems off the pitch. And I'm worried that they're going to be the next team that get we're looking for a new owner or we're out of business kind of team because
it's looking.
if you have about 3 statements from the FL, I think it's 3 statements from the FL they've had this season alone. That never goes well.
I bet Mr. Majeski, he's absolutely livid when he lets control.
He come out publicly and backed them.
Was it?
What, back the ownership?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He told the fans to get behind him.
I think in times like this, sometimes you do need that solidarity, though. I mean, but how far do you take it? If as a fan you can see that the ownership is killing your club and not doing what they fundamentally need to do, and that's pay bills, pay wages, and keep the club afloat, as it were. Then
I think the thing that gets me with Reading is that they had a set by the EFL that they had to do this certain thing to make sure there was money in account, to make sure players were paid. It was something like 125% or something daft like that had to be put into an account, so it made it. And they just went, sod that, we're not going to do that. It's like it's like when they were in the Championship, they got told to stick to a transfer budget. You have to stick to this. You've got paying wages, and they just went, no, we're not just going to do what we want.
Yeah.
Isn't it true that if Reading hadn't had the points deductions, QPR would have gone down, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
QPR would have got relegated.
Yeah.
Before we move on from this one, was it just 3 Claxons, or did you do 4, Jake? Because James' husband used to play for us as well.
I didn't do James' husband either.
There you go. Poor result for Reading. Yeah, very good fullback.
Yeah.
But yeah, a cracking result for Blackpool. One game that I wanted to touch on before we move on was Cheltenham-Stevenage. Is there any games in League One that you guys wanted to talk about?
Only Oxford doing the business against the former league leaders.
Take it away.
Well, look at the stats. It looks like Exeter had more of everything. Shots on target, possession. Yeah, if you can't score, Oxford have got some fine players. Brannigan, what he's doing still at Oxford is, I don't know.
How he's not been snapped up, I don't know, but he's the kind of midfielder that just keep going and can build things. And the thing is, you give him a ball on the penalty spot, he's going to bury him all the time. And
he doesn't miss, does he?
I think it was this week. I think it was this week they got their I think it's their ground permission or whatever it is to get a new stadium done.
All right. Well, the Kassam's not that old, is it?
No.
Honestly, ATID, I love it. I love the comments that we put on. It's great. But no, another good result for Oxford, who have started this season very, very well.
Well, is it calling us a bunch of drips?
You've only got 37% possession and you win 3-0. You're doing something wrong. Yeah.
Lee, any League One games for you, mate?
Just scroll down a little bit, Marco. Stevenage again, fantastic win. Cheltenham.
And Cheltenham still haven't scored a goal.
And they sacked the manager now, haven't they?
Has he sacked?
I think he's gone. I believe he's gone.
I think he went at the full-time whistle. He got, I think so, yeah.
They get escorted on the premises.
Oh dear, probably something like that. Yeah. What is it? 8 games in and no goals.
They become the first EFL side to fail to score in the opening 9 league games.
Oh, 9.
13 and a half hours of football. They've not scored in. So yeah, could be worse. Jake and Lee, you could have not seen your team score at all.
Cheers, Dan.
It's all right. I'm trying to find positives here.
Steve
Evans. That was a bit backhanded, that sympathy. That.
Yeah, I think so, Ian.
Steve Evans doing well at League One.
Yeah.
The stick he gets, but he's unbelievable for the teams. He just produces the goods all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does indeed.
He's a serial winner.
Yeah. I just want to talk about Fleetwood a minute because they just got our ex-defender, Ben Hennigan, there. And by the sounds of it, Naffa said he was amazing. Bit rusty, which is understandable, but I always had a lot of time for Hennigan. I always thought he was quality, and I was a bit gutted when he got let go. So I just want to wish him good luck at Fleetwood, good club to go to, and he should be A-OK. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they stopped their rot. They got a draw, so that's perfect for them.
Yeah, they did. Before we move on to the table, we've got a couple of comments that have dropped in. We've got Jonathan, flying visit. Hopefully Jake and Lee cheered up after the Bramall Lane battering. That's the best he could do pre-watershed. Charlie's popped in again. Our ex-manager Darryl Clark being strongly linked with the Cheltenham job. Talks of
Cottrell will be a good shout.
Cottrell going back. That'd be decent.
He's got a job on. Whoever gets that job's got a job on, though.
Yeah. Stevie T, afternoon, fellas. What a difference Cook makes at Bradford. Yeah, we'll be moving on to League 2 next, but a quick look at the League 1 table. As we say, if you want a deeper dive on League 1, we recommend going to Cod's Vlogs. His video starts at 8. Starting at the bottom, obviously Cheltenham, not scored yet. Drawn a game, that was 0-0. But they...
Portsmouth.
Pompey,
It was at Portsmouth that Cheltenham got the draw.
Yeah. Reading and Wigan fill the bottom 4. Well, they've obviously had points deductions as well. Moving towards the top of the table. So it's
massive credit to Port Vale considering how they got battered first game of the season and now they're just seeming to put it behind them.
Yeah, a couple of rough results, but
but they got a point yesterday, a good penalty save last minute, weren't it?
Yeah. But yeah, Portsmouth, I think it was ATID said that they've got to get promoted this season.
Yeah, they've got to.
There's always that expectation that they're going to be there or thereabouts, and I think a start like this has put them in a really good position, hasn't it?
Yeah.
They're always in stakes. I think this season, well, from what I saw on Tuesday night, I've changed my opinion. I thought they might just miss out playoffs like they always do, but I think they're a different side this season. And
it's Christmas where they tend to always seem to F up.
Yeah.
So let's see where they are at Christmas, because at Christmas they'll be always in this position and something will happen. So
like I said last season to you, Jake, when you had that home record, see when they get their first defeat, see how they respond to it.
That's been last season, what a season. Sorry. We had anything.
So that rounds off League 1. We will quickly go through League 2 as well before I'm sure we'll spend quite a bit of time on the Championship. We will start at Doncaster.
Fill your boots down.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm the happy one. We've had a mixed bag of results this weekend across the panel. Defeats, draws, and wins. But this gives us 3 wins on the bounce. I'm counting the Papa John's Trophy. I don't care what anybody says. We're having it. It was confidence building performance and win midweek on the back of a poor performance, but a fortuitous win at Forest Green. I think Ben Close has come out and said that it was a cross. Neither of his goals yesterday were crosses. The second one certainly not. But I'll hand over to Lee in a sec because you were there as a neutral. But for me personally, as a fan watching, I thought the first half was fairly even. I think either team could have gone in front. Mo Farl had a really good opportunity. Gills tested us a couple of times, so I think probably going in at 1-1 was deserved. There was question marks over the back pass, which led to the indirect free kick for the first goal. Questions on whether he was getting fouled. Personally, I don't think he was. I don't think there was enough pressure on him or any kind of pull or tug to make him fall. But he has passed it back to the keeper, who's picked it up, and then we've worked that free kick really well. But for me, the second half, I thought we were just in control. I thought the midfield looked really solid with Biggins, Close, and Westbrook in there. I think we're seeing now the players that we've missed at the start of the season, the likes of Biggins and Close coming back from injury, that we are potentially a force to be reckoned with in League 2. It's still a long way to go, a game at a time, but I think 3 wins on the bounce is massive, and it took a little bit of quality, an absolute stunner to probably tip a finely balanced game.
Don't do tap-ins.
Yeah. Lee, you were there as a neutral, mate. What did you think of the game from your perspective?
I was interested to see how Donny had fared. Obviously, covered him against Notts County, and you were very poor that day. You just really rolled over. So I was really keen to see how things had changed. Obviously, off the back of the win against Forest Green, and I must say I was really impressed. I thought, especially the 2 in the middle, Biggins and Close, I thought at times they dictated the play and moved it quite well. Just did things quite simple. I think at times you need that from your centre midfielders instead of like making passes that you don't necessarily need to and trying to force it, where they were just shifting it wide and just making Gillingham chase them at times. And I felt really impressed compared to that Notts County game. It was a game for me, I thought, could have gone either way. Obviously, Gillingham had their fair share of chances. Obviously, we touched on it with Matt. If their striker had been on fire, I think another day they'd have been going home with maybe 3 points. But
yeah, Macaulay Bonne had a few opportunities, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's just a striker. Just no confidence, especially the one where it basically gets crossed the 6-yard box, and he's just got to react and get something on it. He's just a bit flat-footed, and then the one that he lashes over the bar, a striker with confidence, he just strokes that home, and it's an easy goal for him. But yeah, credit to Donny that I thought they were good value for it, and obviously it's a good scout. Gillingham coming to town, top of the league, fantastic start for them, and now 2 wins from 2 in the league. It's something to really build on for you guys. But I was really impressed with Donny. I thought they were much improved from that Notts County display.
Yeah,
I think the only thing that Donny are missing at the moment is probably a Marcus type goal scorer.
Yeah, on that.
Yeah.
I think what's the lad? I can't even pronounce his name. What's the lad? Mo Fowl.
Yeah.
I thought at times he was a bit more mobile, gets about a bit. Obviously, had the chance first 10 minutes, but I think he gives you that a bit more mobility.
Yeah.
And then
my frustration with Mo Fowl is his first touch. Once he's got the ball under control, I think he puts fear of God up defenders because you don't know which way he's going. It's just limbs. His arms and legs are that long. It just don't look natural. And
just angly, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't know which way he's going. But I think when he's driving at players, obviously because his legs are so long, he covers a lot of ground really quickly as well. But there was some times I think ball nearly got played through to him quite early on in first half. I think it was after his initial chance, and all he needed to do was just kind of take it in his stride and knock it forward, and it'd beat the back line. But as he tried to take it in his stride, it kind of hit his heel and went backwards, and then it's just little bits like that frustrate me with Fowl. I think Ironside could be kind of the Marquis kind of level player.
Yeah,
I think his older play, his strength is unreal. But I do agree with you, Ian. I think we are missing an out-and-out goal scorer, but I think that out-and-out goal scorer is currently injured in Miller. I think if Miller and Ironside are on that
I think
pitch,
you have Miller and Ironside, you would have a proper set of players to like boss that league at top.
Yeah, Miller over the last 2 seasons
together and on the pitch,
over the last 2 seasons, Miller scored 12 at a poor Crew team, or no, Walsall, sorry, poor Walsall team at the time, and then he came to Donny in a poor Donny team, and I think he scored 13 last season. So I think in a team that's I think in a team that's a bit more creative, it'd get 15 to 20. I think.
Can I just say something, Dan? I've never heard anyone count
the Pizza Cup
as an actual good thing to do. No one's ever counted the Pizza Cup as a good thing. Everyone hates it.
It's a win. I'm having it.
Not even me, and we won it all the
I think with Gillingham scoring so late in first half as well, I was slightly worried that we were only going to be one outcome, because obviously it's the old cliche, you score late and it gives you that impetus. But I was impressed with Donny. I thought he really moved the ball up around well.
I'd agree with that. Dan's come in the chat. We're going to climb the table now, feeling positive. Burton, great win for Donny. 2 great vlogs, lads. Thank you
really
for watching.
Good vlogs.
Closest class. And then we've got a load more comments, but we will move on. Any games that you guys want to
result for Crawley?
Oh, aren't they doing well?
Take it away, Jay.
They turned it around all of a sudden. It's weird. It's weird how they've managed to put some of the off-field stuff to one side, and they're starting to look. Sorry.
I'll put that back up if people didn't quite catch it. Bolton thought they got promoted by the Pizza Cup.
It's tickled Ian, that one.
ATID, you're going to have to start doing the clock. Keep catching your things. It throws me every time.
It's that bless him at end that tickles me.
Yeah. But you look at Crawley, like, they're good with every shot on target.
That's how to do it.
And that's something that I don't think we saw them doing for a long time. And the fact that they got to like 2-2 and a 96-minute winner, you can't ask for something better than that. But we all put Crawley quite in a bad place, but they seem to be gelling a bit.
Bottom.
Yeah. They seem to be gelling, and it's just like I think it's one of the things. I think some of the clubs took a while to get the players to gel and get going. You're seeing now that this is starting to turn a corner with some of them. But to get a 3-2 win versus Grimsby at Grimsby Place is a cracking result.
Definitely.
I
I'd agree with that. Ian, any game jump out for you in League Two, mate?
Yeah, there is. Crew. I mean, we're talking about how well Crawley are doing. Crew. Also, I think I put them lower mid-table. I mean, there were 2 up in no time. But they're having a cracking season, aren't they? I mean, every time they go 2-0 down, they draw. And they're getting some decent wins as well.
Yeah.
I think it's Lee Bell, the manager there. I think he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still not sold on Colchester. So I put them quite low down in my initial predictions, and I got some rate grief on Twitter and all its socials, and I crumbled and I put them higher up. But it just seems to be working for them, doesn't it? I absolutely crumbled, and yeah, peer pressure got me. But it's not been a great start for them. Do we think that I was probably initially right and I should have stuck by my guns, or do you think it's just going to take a bit of time?
I don't know. How much can your social media take getting pelters again?
No, I don't mind. I'll just crumble again.
I don't know what we call you. They're either very good or very, very poor. But if you look at the stats in this game against Crewe, it looks like they dominated it. 60% possession, 21 shots, 6 on target.
Yeah, this is it. Is it going to be one of them where it clicks and then they have a really good end, like second half to the season and finish strongly? It looks like there's something there, doesn't it?
Something's working, but it's just not getting the results yet.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those ones where I think when they start getting results, they might start climbing, but it's interesting. Oh, that's all right. You said Sheffield defence today. I was going to say something else.
Calm down, Jake.
Yeah. I got to be nice to John.
You know what we swear is.
I've got to be nice to John now. He's one of my mods on my channel.
Lee, I'm guessing it's going to be Bradford.
No, it's going to be Stockport, mate.
His other team.
I'm not playing the Lizzie Bingo tonight.
Go on, mate. Stockport absolutely tonk Wrexham. Take it away.
I bet all viewers think we've all had an happy pill before we got on here, didn't we? We're a bit giddy tonight.
I'm on second bottle.
Can of coke for me. No, what a result for Stockport. Absolutely blew Wrexham away. It was just Stockport seemed to have found the shooting boots, and they've hit some form of late, and they've absolutely put Wrexham to the sword. Wrexham conceded some
clangers.
Yeah, and goals. I think second time maybe they've conceded 5. I might be wrong. I don't know.
Against MK Dons opening day.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
you mean 5-5 Swindon as well, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
Wasn't that the game that Ben Foster immediately retired?
Yeah. So you're looking three games, I think, where they've conceded 5 goals. It's worrying.
Yeah, I mean they've had the shots, 20 shots. Obviously, they've got the not yesterday, but they've got the reinforcement up front. It just worries me defensively.
They just didn't seem to defend well when they were in National League, though, did they? They used to concede really stupid. It's like they've done the FIFA thing where you got your whole thing, or the Football Manager. You buy a lot of attackers and then you forget to put defenders in. And you're like, oh crap, that's why I'm getting stuffed every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, from watching the highlights, it was a catalogue of errors, wasn't it, defensively, to kind of.
When Wrexham were in National League, they used to get 6-4s and 7-5 results, didn't they?
Yeah.
It just seems like they were always that team doing next goal winner kind of thing. Yeah. And they've got a great attacking player, but they've never been really solid at the back, goalkeeper and defence. They've always been something that is missing. And they're going to have to address that in the window, because if you actually look at what they did in a lot of their transfer business, it was attackers again.
Yeah. Hollywood FC, you see.
Aye.
Yeah.
Well, no,
that Louis Barry that they've got on loan, he just can't stop scoring, can he?
He's a cracking player. He's just been waiting to he's good. It's just I don't know what's gonna happen because you've one of those players where you think eventually this might be his level, but he's better than this, I think. But the thing is, I think it's one of those ones where you look at his development. Like, hopefully, the natural thing is go next season, maybe do League One or Championship and see how he gets on, kind of thing. But he's just having a cracking time at Stockport.
Yeah, he is indeed. But no, a couple of decent results for Stockport over the last couple of weeks has started to turn their season around from a shaky start. Obviously, we've got Neil in. I think Sid's in the chat as well. So we'll talk about Bradford.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, he's a cheat code. Andy Cook's a cheat code for League Two.
Yeah. I need another Claxon as well. We had Ryan Tulloch when Darren Moore was manager. I think we had him on loan from West Brom.
Yeah, we nearly got him on loan last season. It fell through, and I was gutted because he's a good player.
Did anybody see Graham Coughlin's post-match presser?
No.
The Newport manager. I thought he was going to chin the interviewer. He was that angry.
He used to have that in his locker when he used to play for Wednesday.
I think he says, "What's it?" He says, "I think it started off with, well, what did you think of the performance, Graham?" He says, "Is that a serious question?" I thought he was going to hit him.
I think on the surface, though, I mean, they've had 53% possession. They've passed the ball a lot more. They've just not really utilised the possession that they've had. They've only had 7 shots at goal, only 1 on target, which they converted. But you look at Bradford, 17 shots, 7 on target. I think Mark Hughes and the Bradford fans will be a lot happier seeing that than what they've seen over the previous week.
Yeah.
I mean, last couple of results, I think they've had to wait until last minute to get a share of the spoils. Whereas Andy Cook coming back, it just gives you that confidence that you know that you're going to get the ball up there and somebody's going to be in the right place at the right time to slot it away.
Because it was sounding like Mark Hughes' job was a little bit on the line at one point with it. So I wonder if this will keep it at bay for a little bit. But
I think a change of formation helped Chester. I think he's scrapped what he went for and just changed it yesterday. It's obviously paid off for him. But Jake, definitely under pressure because Bradford fans, they've had some poor results at the start of the season.
Can I ask a question of the Bradford fans? How's Richie Smallwood doing in centre defensive midfield?
There we go. Neil,
He used to play
question
for
for you there, mate.
I always liked him at Rotherham, so I just wondered how they were doing. I'm sure they'll answer me.
I think we also need to mention Notts County before we move on to the Championship. You'd be absolutely gutted as a player, wouldn't you, going on the road, scoring a hat-trick and then still coming away with absolutely nothing. Troy
I've got to do the Claxon again, haven't I?
John Bostock.
He was at Wednesday and Donny.
Yeah. There we go. Claxon's worn out today.
Yeah.
Well, no, Troy Deeney hat-trick and still ends up on the losing end. I think Notts County are just going about the business pretty well. I thought they'd struggle to acclimatise to League Two. I thought they'd be similar to what Stockport County were last season, coming up and kind of competing, but not hammering it like.
They're going to want to have to lock Langthorpe up in a basement when it comes to transfer window. He's playing some really good football.
Yeah.
He could quite easily go from them for some good money in the January window.
He could do.
Indeed. We've got an answer to your question in. Neil says not brilliant. McDonald replaced him yesterday. Sid has come in and said terrible.
Terrible.
A little less diplomatic than Neil.
Well, the thing is, I mean, he was the master of the sideways tackle. He was a Michael Cat, but he could get a tackle in. He could break play up. That was his game. But I agree with you with the sideways bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Sideways.
As for Forest Green, I really fear for them this season. I think they could go close to going back to non-league. They just can't defend.
Yeah.
They've been on the end of some tonkings already this season.
Yeah. George has come in and said Langstaff best striker in League Two. I can't really disagree with that. I think he's very, very good. And like Jake said, lock him up in a basement or somewhere during January so that it doesn't leave.
Well, they need to get in touch with Morecambe asking what they did with Cole Stockton because he managed to do it.
So a quick look at the League Two table before we move on to the Championship. Sutton currently occupy bottom spot, but a decent point for them against MK Dons yesterday.
Salford down there as well.
Yeah, they've lost 5 on the bounce.
Ryan
team-
Giggs is apparently lingering in the wing to possibly take over his mate club.
Is it?
Yeah.
It'd be
Very-
a good shoe back into management for Giggsy, actually.
It'd be good, but I think all the off-field stuff have made him a little bit damaged good, so he would have to be very careful.
Yeah, true enough, but yeah, because he was doing really well for Wales, weren't he?
He was.
When all this broke,
Yeah.
yeah. And also a good result for Tranmere as well. They needed that.
They did indeed. Good win for them. Positive reading for the Rovers. 2 wins on the bounce pulls us from bottom of the table to 19th.
Working.
So hopefully we're going in the right direction for the rest of the season now. We've got Barrow next weekend, so another tough away day, but hopefully the confidence from 3 wins on the bounce will help us on the way. I want a 2 point.
Could you class Rovers now as lower mid-table?
We'll take it. Yes.
Dan, what did you think to Gillingham yesterday?
They were very direct. I think there wasn't too many instances of kind of neat interplay. I thought we had the ball on the ground a lot more and tried to kind of work his way through Gillingham, whereas they were looking for opportunities over the top and kind of getting Macaulay Bonne on the end of it. And I just thought there was a lot of very direct play from Gillingham.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sometimes works in League Two, that though.
Yeah, it does. Yes.
It does, yeah.
I mean, it's working this season, cost a second. So I think for me, it was 2 evenly matched teams. And if Gillingham are up there come the end of the season, I don't see why.
Look
Donny
where
can't do as well.
Crawley are.
Yeah.
That's just
It's
insane.
incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane.
Whatever's clicked, it clicked really well. The thing is, can they keep it up?
We will
Kind
see.
of thing for me. We'll see.
Yeah. Bradford picked up over the last, obviously that win takes them into the top half of the table. MK Dons currently dropping off with a bit of a tough run of form with defeats and draws. Stockport climbing the table as well.
Does anyone think
but-
Stockport and Wimbledon need to just keep an eye on there being 2 clubs that could slowly just get into the reckoning just by doing what they're doing and just being quite quiet, doing what they're doing, and then just being like,
Under the radar.
Yeah.
Because Wimbledon's, that were a great result at Walsall.
Mm.
It was.
For Wimbledon, 3-1 away from home. That was a great result for them.
Yeah, they surprised me this season, Wimbledon. But no, cracking starts for Notts County, Gillingham and Mansfield, who occupy the 3 automatic spaces. But yeah, obviously Crawley can't discount
They're
them.
my tip. They're going to finally do it this season, Mansfield. They're going to finally get promoted.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, that
Difficult.
round.
You look at the top 3. I want all 3 of them to go up.
Yeah.
So that rounds League 2 and League 1 off. We will start in the Championship midweek games. Jake or Lee, whichever one
Lee,
wants to
I'll
take
let
it.
Lee have this one.
Sheff Wednesday 1, Middlesbrough 1. Talk us through this, mate.
Yeah, it was a slightly brighter first half display from Wednesday, I think. Tried to get at Middlesbrough a bit more and be up more on the front foot. And we got just results. Obviously, I think first 15 we were really at them, and then momentum seemed to die when old Roger Federer started chucking his tennis balls on pitch.
Fucking stupid.
And it just stopped us in his tracks a little bit, which were quite frustrating. Obviously, people are venting and they're quite.
I understand the venting and I get it, and I'm all if you're gonna protest, but the ways of doing it where we don't get EFL problems and disrupt the team as a whole.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, love the tennis balls, Neil. But yeah,
Did you not take any? What? Did you not take any with your lead to throw your own?
I didn't go to this one, mate. I sat at home. Behind my pillar.
Hiding behind the sofa, just waiting for what was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Joseph.
I think the first half we played some really good football. I thought Valentine looked dangerous. But the problem is there was nobody in the box. We were having crosses in and no one was in. And then, I don't know about you, second half, that goal they scored, he's lucky he didn't get pulled up because he was pulling Akin all over the place.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I thought that.
The problem is, when these heads go, they properly go.
Yeah.
Like, whatever's getting said in the dressing room, whatever's getting said at half time, it ain't working.
No,
And
that's my worry. His motivational skills. He just players aren't buying into it, are they, Joe?
no, it's just. I have never turned on a manager, and this is the first time for me where I've gone, I think he needs to go now, even though he's been at the 10 games. We don't see like we're improving. We have little spells, but then his interviews at the end of games, they're just, I don't get it. It's like, where are you seeing the improvement? Because I can't see none. Like, Masaba, goal, really good work by Bernard. And Masaba looked good at the weekend as well. They're probably only one out of a lot of them who looked good. I think the thing is, when you disrupt the team, like Chansiri's done in terms of management and everything else, it's a recipe for disaster for the whole of the season. Because you should have just given Darren Moore what he wanted. Personally. Because he was building something. He built teams. You look at him now at Huddersfield, I can see Huddersfield doing really well. They've given him a 3-year contract. They've set a plan in place. He'll go do well there, and good luck to him. He deserves it. And any Wednesday fan that says he doesn't is stupid, because he does deserve to have that job, because he did a cracking job with us to get us out of League One.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I think he'll just build upon what Warnock's built at Huddersfield and just take it on that another level.
I will say it was, I labelled this game the El Crapaco and the El Sacaco because it felt like both managers were either going to get sacked or it was going to be a crap game, and it was a crap game. But Middlesbrough came at us in the second half. They had a goal disallowed for offside, if I remember correctly.
It was offside, yeah.
And it was offside, but it just killed everything. There was no momentum.
I think we were lucky to get away with a point on his second half, because it does really come at us, didn't it?
Yeah, it's like, does anyone else who's a Wente fan see what Fletcher offers up top? And I don't understand this playing one up top when you're at home. Like, it's weird. He brought in all these wingers, yet he's not playing them. And I don't know when a wind's coming ever. Because you look at what we're doing, it doesn't make sense. But it is what it is.
You just have to look at Backinson coming over as a left winger.
Oh, God, yeah. Forgot about that. I slept since then. I didn't want to remember that. And Andy ran the ball. Well, the thing is, what gets me is, you look at the game when we played Ipswich. How the hell can a professional team have that many foul throwing? We did it against Swansea. That's like Sunday league basic, you've been on the piss.
We've had more foul throws than we've got points.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
God.
Three now, Ian. We're counting. It's our only thing to grab onto at the minute.
We're gonna start putting our own little board at the Ilbra saying how many points we should have to foul throws.
Yeah, it's not looking good from
basic,
the outside.
that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just going to snowball now for Chansiri, because he's dug himself an hole. And
the problem is, when they're not in the country, even if they get told about it, they don't have to see it. They can ignore it. Yeah. If they're there, they have to see it. That's the problem. If they're there, they have to see it. They have to have security measures just in case. And if you do anything like that, you're stupid. Remember, he's a human being.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it is football, and yes, he's running it badly, but don't attack him personally. Don't attack him physically. At the end of the day, we want to see the club run properly, but the issue is you've got two things. You do it in a way he can be spiteful, leave it, and have a rot, or sell to someone even worse, and that's what we don't want.
No.
Yeah, I think that was my worry last season when it looked like Donny may have been sold in the summer. It's all well and good wanting something different and wanting change, but change isn't always necessarily positive. But at the same time, you can't continue going down a path which is clearly not working.
No.
And it's a risk that every football club takes. I mean, our owners, I think his age escapes me, is either
He's old.
yeah, his 80s, or I don't think he's into 90s. I think he's in the 80s. So he ain't going to be around for much longer. So I foresee us getting sold either this summer or next summer. Obviously we'll want to be as high as possible to get the most return from that. But my worry is, like you say, what do you get in? It could be something worse, it could be something better, but you've got to take that leap.
The rumour is with Chansiri is that he wants to give the club to his son. That was the whole point of him buying the club originally. He wanted his son because his son football mad. Now we've seen that happen before with Wigan. When Wigan got given to his grandson. And now look what happened with Wigan. Worried me a little bit.
Right. Okay. Continuing with midweek, Ian, you travelled to Millwall.
I didn't.
Well, you didn't. Rotherham did.
No,
I'm not following you. I'm not got a tag on you or anything.
I watched this on iFollow, and purely and simply, I wanted my tenner back. It was absolutely dreadful. From minute 1 to minute 95, it was dreadful. We never laid a glove on them. We came in. I don't know what it is with Matt Taylor's, tactics, but we are two different teams. At New York Stadium, we're competitive. We can give any team in the championship a game. But away from home, it just seems to me like surrender stations.
Yeah.
We seem to set up trying not to lose, if you know what I mean. We set up going specifically for a goalless draw. And then we'll concede within the first half hour, and there's absolutely no plan B. I mean, Millwall didn't really have to get out of first gear. All the goals were preventable. I mean, Longman's were a decent strike, but none of our defenders got anywhere near him. The same with Fleming's goal in the second half. Bradshaw, I think Bradshaw's goal in injury time, I think we just gave up. It was an awful performance, and the Twitter meltdown was something to behold. To be honest, I mean, yeah, okay. There were nearly 200 Rotherham fans that went down to Millwall, and I fear for every single one of them they should have had a refund from Matt Taylor's own pocket, because that is unacceptable, completely unacceptable. Like I said, I mean, away from home, we did exactly the same last weekend at Huddersfield, just surrender stations. We never looked like scoring. But it is what it is, I suppose. We know where we are in the food chain in the championship. But a surrender, as a supporter, you want to shift from your players. You want players to put a shift in. Win, lose or draw, if they put a shift in, you can accept it. There were no shift put in from 1 to, well, I think we made 4 or 5 subs. They were all absolute. They would all have got about a 1 or a 2 out of 10. Unacceptable.
Yeah,
it must be frustrating for players because he's obviously setting them up like that. So it's just a bit.
Yeah.
Just go and have a go.
Yeah.
I would rather look
get beat anyway.
5-1 and have a go.
Not have a go, then
players
not do anything.
Yeah.
Problem is, you go away from home and you have a go, and you end up like Norwich at Plymouth and getting battered 6-2.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But they've had a go. I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
I have to be honest.
I think we'll probably start at Plymouth for this weekend fixtures, because we'll let you think about your upcoming rants for Sheffield Wednesday. And to be fair, Rotherham got a decent result, but ATID has been in the chat waxing lyrical about Plymouth this weekend. Obviously, he said that they put a different team out. They swapped the squad about for the midweek game where they got beat 4-1, I believe. Changed it up. I think Schumacher got some hammer for his team selection midweek. Changed it up. And what a result. Home Park is an absolute fortress. We've
You
said it
look
time
at
and
their
time again.
recruitment, though. Look at their recruitment this summer. They have managed to get some of the loan back. They've managed to make some permanent thing. What I've said about Plymouth and Ipswich, they built a championship squad in League One, where we built a League One squad to get out of League One. And that's the issue we're having now. And now you can tell we're struggling with that because it's a League One squad. Whittaker been an absolute steal for $1 million from Swansea.
Yeah.
And he was gutted when he left. And they're just playing some football at times. It's hit and miss with Plymouth at times. 1 minute they're looking really good, next minute. If they get that consistency going, I think they'll be really dangerous and get at other teams. It's just they're just lacking that little bit of consistency at times. But to batter Norwich 6-2, who, let's be honest, we always put Norwich up near and up there because it's Norwich, but it doesn't look like these managed to. They seem like the same team versus when they had Smith to now Wagner. It's like they can't seem to get the management situation right. And I think, am I right in thinking this is their last season with parachute payments, or is it next season?
I think it's this season.
Yeah,
so
I think it's
if they
I think
they're going to have to sell.
Season.
Then they'll need to sell players next season because they're not going to have the money there. It reminds me a little bit of what Stoke did. They were expecting to get back first time. It's just not worked.
No.
But fair play to Plymouth. When you have 16 shots and 10 on target and you win 6-2 and 30% possession, that is a cracking game.
Yeah.
I've scrolled back. I found ATID's comments. He said that he's the first person to slag off the absolute shambolic final third play, but yesterday was prime example of when we click, we're unbeatable. Whittaker for 1 million. Welsh pants pulled down well and truly. He wasn't expecting 6-2, and even with that scoreline, I can still moan about the ref giving a penalty for a foul that happened 42 miles outside the box. We asked for a response and we got one. Certainly did get that. So a great result for Plymouth. Obviously, we're hurtling towards the hour mark, so I think we'll go back to Rotherham. Ian, much better performance and result, would you say?
Yes, obviously the stats tell a story, but like I said in the last game against Millwall, the minimum we expect as a supporter is a shift, and we certainly got one yesterday. We fought for every ball. Preston are a good side. They're confident. They're on form. They came at us, but we've put us bodies in front of everything. Victor Johansson made 3 fantastic saves. We scored a very, very good goal. Jordan Hugo. Yeah. We unfortunately we couldn't see it through until half time. That Lindsay just put an easy header in from a corner, Liam Lindsay. And in the second half, we lost Cameron Humphreys, our centre half, through injury. So Cohen Bramall had to go from left wing back to centre half, and we had to bring that Revenum that we've got from Villa as left wing back. So as an attacking force, second half, it just didn't happen. But we competed for everything. We had a little bit of luck. I mean, Tyler Blackett nearly scored the own goal of the season that hit the post. But we don't have a right lot of luck, so we come away with a well-earned 1-1 draw. I'm not really convinced that we deserved a 1-1 draw, but it's nice to get a little bit of luck, and it's nice to keep our home form going because our away form is so dreadful. So we needed that result. It's dropped us down a couple of places, but if somebody had said before kick-off you're going to draw 1-1 with the league leaders, I'd definitely take it. Yeah, definitely take it.
Yeah, definitely.
And you were saying beforehand, Jordan Hugo seemed to like going against his former clubs.
That's right. I think he scored 7 goals for us since he arrived in January, and 6 of them are against clubs he used to play for. And we're away next weekend at Cardiff, and he used to play for them as well. So he's nailed on, really. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. At least we got a shift. That's the minimum we expect as fans.
Yeah, I like saying the home form's really important because that could be the difference between staying up and going down. If you've got a really good home record and the away record's not great.
Just because Sid's put it in the chat. If you bring it up, he just put it.
What we're looking at, mate? Sorry.
Sid, he just put it in the chat about Delia.
Where are you? Let's be having you.
Is there anything that your soundboard cannot do?
I forgot I had that.
Let's be having you.
Also, it's
Well,
nice.
Well, you know
It's
the one I
nice
got.
for the Millers.
You know the one I got for Plymouth. Green or red?
Also, it's nice for the Millers to take points off a fan base that are incredibly overconfident, like the PNE fans were yesterday, and a fortnight ago, like the Norwich fans were.
Yeah.
Incredibly overconfident. It's nice to put it up.
Preston miss Tom Cannon. They spent all that summer trying to get him in and just failed.
Well, he scored a shitload for him last season, didn't
He
he?
did.
Yeah.
There we go. Eloquently put, Ian.
That's all right.
I wasn't
Moving
passing
on.
from the bleep
Moving
button.
on to Swansea against Sheffield Wednesday. We'll never make prime time TV, will we?
It's not what we're about, is it?
Moving on to Swansea against Sheffield Wednesday. So, from all reports, what I'm getting, so I'll just say a few words before you guys go on your rant. It seems like you were in the game until the decision to give a penalty.
Yeah, but yeah, John just made it really good.
Do you think being down at the bottom of the table it's one of those things where you just don't seem to get the rub of the green, or do you
Not
think it is? Do you
really,
think that rock's
no.
a lot deeper?
No, I think it's a lot deeper for me personally. I think if we look at the green, a lot more things would have gone our way. Like first 15 minutes, we were really good. Played some good football, knocked it about a bit, getting crosses in, people not getting closer to the ball. Again, you're relying on a 35-year-old Lee Gregory to do running for the ball, and when balls are going over the top, it's not his game at 35 to do that now. He's not the person to be running after long balls and try and get in on the end of it. It's just not his job now. But for some reason, we're doing it. For the penalty, right, this is the most mentalist thing I think I'm ever going to say. But it's a penalty, but it's also not a penalty all at the same time. Because, yes, he pulls his shorts, but the dive to, win the penalty, he wasn't going down.
Standard.
He wasn't
Olympic
going down.
standard.
But it's that stupid thing. Once they scored that, our heads go. As soon as we concede a goal, our heads go. They drop their head, they drop tools, they're done. And the problem is when that starts happening, we've got no chance. Playing it out from the back, we're absolutely useless at it. I think I said in my review, Stevie Wonder can tell we're not very good at playing out from the back. We are absolutely useless at it, and I don't understand why we're doing it. And they nearly got, in second half, Vasquez nearly gave them one straight away. He just played it straight to him. And if he hit it, he would have scored it. Jerry Yates scoring again. And looking the business and look good. And then after that, it was just simple. It's bad when a rival fan goes on your channel and goes, you made us look like Barcelona and can we play you every week? There's nothing there that makes you confident for the next game. There's nothing there. The fact that Sicko coming after the game and trying to say we need more positivity from the fans. Show it us then. Show it us on the pitch because they're not fighting for it. What if they are doing it in training? Let's see what's going on because at the minute it's just not working. But the problem is we're saying that we'll be all right when we get our first win. We don't see when our first win coming. Our first win could be way too late and it'll cut adrift. Absolutely cut adrift because there's no plan there. There's no plan there. And it just feels like he'd come in, ripped it all up. I want him to turn it around. I really do. And I do. But I also feel like I don't see how he can, if that makes sense. You know, like Cat 22?
Yeah.
Where I want him to turn it around because I think he deserved the chance to turn it around. But I can't see it. I just can't see it. I don't know about what you think, Lee.
No, I've never lost faith in a manager so quick than I have Munoz. Just touching on your Chansiri statement there.
Munoz.
I need positivity from the fans. I think that's an absolute disgrace of a comment.
It is.
Yeah.
I agree.
Fans travelling to Swansea yesterday and backing the boys at home at the prices Chansiri's charging. At the other, what game did I go to the other day? Ipswich. There was still over 25,000 there for the prices they were charging. I think that's an absolute disgrace to say that to Wednesday fans. And I was quite calm until you just brought that up again because it just riled me really. I think
I mean, they have sacked him completely.
Yeah, this is the problem with Chansiri. I can even see it in Munoz. I mean, I called him a little mini Chansiri the other day because he just pushes the blame away from himself.
You know the issue I've got, Lee, is it was set up from day one in that press conference. Chansiri set how Munoz thought the media were going to be to him, and he just run with it.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously heard the chants about, and obviously BBC.
Oh, did he say something? I didn't hear it.
Yeah, but then he's laughed about it. I mean, that's just an absolute. Like I said, I've never lost faith in a manager so quickly. I tried to be positive about Wednesday, but I just literally. At the minute, I don't even want to look at the result because you just know what's coming. That was an absolute banker yesterday. If you were a betting man for Swansea.
And the thing is, the problem is when you have the thing is. When you look at like him going, look at positive, show us some positivity then, because we're not seeing it on the pitch. Like we're winless out of the EFL. Everyone else have pretty much nearly got a win, and we're still stuck marooned.
It shows how little he knows the Wednesday fan base. Chansiri, how many years has he been at the club now?
I think it's 8 now. 2015.
To say what he says, we turned up in numbers at Wembley. When we shouldn't have even been there, we backed the club. We've been through the absolute ringer, Wednesday fans. We've had so many dark days since we got relegated out of Premiership, and it's just we've learned nothing. Of course, as long as it's nice.
It is nice, yeah. I can remember because I'm an old man, but I can remember back in the mid-70s when Wednesday were in the 3rd division. When they were pulling gates at Hillsborough at 8,500. And to say that the Wednesday fans now aren't backing the team is a disgrace.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a massive kick in teeth. And keep making comments like that, and you're just going to make it even worse for yourself. And like we've had a disagreement, Jake, about protests are planned Friday night.
To be fair, I'm all for it now because the thing is, I have the thing, protest all you like. The only difference I think I got is it doesn't mean anything if he doesn't see it. And if he's just going to get told about it, he can quite literally put his fingers in his ear, put his hand over his eyes and go, I'm not looking at it. That's the problem. I think the thing that I got at the minute is that this is going back some 2004 Chris Turner days, it's starting to feel like, or Terry Yorath kind of days. And back then, you're talking Dave Allen style era. It's going to get that toxic and it's going to get nasty if we're not careful.
I mean, them elephants are close to going it down.
Well, you heard that one of the fans is apparently looking at getting his season ticket removed because of a comment he said about the elephants.
Yeah. Which sums Chansiri up. He's just so childish. It's untrue. He's a stubborn bugger.
I think that makes it difficult, doesn't it?
It's a real mess.
If he's sticking by his guns and it's clearly not working.
The problem is, I don't trust him to bring the right person in after Munoz. And how long do you leave it? Because I don't think you can leave it till next international break.
I'd have Mr. Blobby over Munoz at the minute, to be fair.
At least I'll be able to say his name.
So yeah, not a great weekend, not a great start to the season for Wednesday, is it? Hopefully it does turn around sooner rather than later. Similar to Rotherham, but I mean we'll look at the table. But before that, is there any other games that we want to?
Ipswich, bloody
Ipswich,
hell,
definitely.
Ipswich. What are they? Oh no, I forgot about George Hurston Luongo. Crap.
Yeah.
Waxon's had an hammer in.
He's going to have to get it changed.
I mean, look at
Oh.
that: 29 shots, 11 on target. Wow.
I think you said it earlier, Jake. Ipswich and Plymouth seem to build a championship team in League One, and
Yeah, they did.
they absolutely romped home last season in a division which was absolutely mental. You guys got, was it 96 points?
Yeah.
There
is a correlation of teams getting 90 odd points and then doing badly in their first season. The difference is those teams were Wigan and Luton, who I think did what we've done and built a League One team to get out of League One.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you look at them. Broadhead $1 million from I think it was Everton. I think they paid Hurst $1 million. They got Luongo, who when he played for could never stay fit. We always said Luongo runs a midfield, and he runs a midfield. When he's fit, he's amazing, and they just managed to keep him fit, and he's just doing the business. They have just done really well, and you know what? It credit to teams like Plymouth, like Ipswich, going right. We're gonna not go get some of the people who've done it and tried it. We're gonna go try and do something else. We'll go get, say, McKenna from Man United's academy. We'll let Shuey do it, who's been under Ryan Lowe. I think more managers like that need to start coming into the game now, because I think there's only so much a lot of clubs can do before you hitting the same people, because for a long time it was your Warnocks, it was your Steve Bruce, but now it's a new generation of managers that are coming through. And I think it's time to start looking at that. I've already said who I want our next manager to be if it ever happens. I want Brian Barry Murphy, ex-Wednesday player, but he's Man City's academy manager. Can you imagine what you could get on loan from their academy? Because that's what McKenna did, and that's what he's done this season. Look at how many ex-Man United players are in there.
Yeah, it's about looking at who's tactically aware, knows the game in kind of its.
And
how
the
it's
place
looking
some
now.
wonderful football. Ipswich
Just-
plays
it's
some
just-
wonderful football.
It's attacking, but they've also, apart from this game, most of the time they're quite defensive when they need to. This one, it was just I think it was just an off day.
Yeah.
But they just look absolutely superb, and Alex Griffin must be smiling from ear to ear because I think it was his birthday this game, so he
was.
must have been well happy.
Ben Bloom's chuffed as well.
Yeah, Ben Bloom as well. Yeah, it's just
Yeah. You can't
They-
believe it, I don't think.
yeah. I think he's a bit shell shocked, isn't he?
Yeah. Is there any other championship games that you guys want to touch on? Obviously, Hull doing particularly
What
well.
about Hull are doing well, but aren't Cardiff doing well?
Turned it around.
What a
haven't they?
result that were today.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Oh, for
Sunderland.
God's sake!
I didn't do that on purpose, Jake. I didn't
I
honestly.
know you did it. I just saw Mark McGuinness's name. I was like, oh yeah, another Wednesday player.
But they're flying, aren't they, Cardiff? They're absolutely flying at the moment.
Oh yeah,
And they've got us next.
they got us next, Sunderland,
Yeah.
and we are at home, but I am slightly worried they might turn around and go, right, we can turn this around now. But I hope they kind of go with that attitude. It might bring something from Wednesday, but I don't know. But Cardiff have turned it around.
My mate's a Cardiff fan, and he said this were pretty much a smash and grab type situation. Sunderland were a good outfit, and he's watched them this season, which puts fear of God in me, knowing they're coming to Hillsborough on Friday.
You sound like you're about to cry, Lee.
I'll tell you somebody one player that you need to watch, and that's Jack Clark. He's having a
Yeah.
fantastic season for Sunderland. He's a
Good
hell of
player.
a player. Yeah.
I think they were lucky to keep him in the
Very good
transfer
player.
window.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a quick look at the table before we have a look at what we're predicting for next week's prediction league table. Lee, Ian, Jake, close your eyes. Sheff Wednesday and Rotherham, 23rd and 24th, with Middlesbrough occupying the final relegation spot.
And they got their first win, Middlesbrough, at weekend.
And
Yeah,
so did
yeah,
Swansea.
first win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyone
Swansea
can get a
win
win.
pulled them out of the top zone. There's serious concerns, isn't there, that Wednesday could get cut adrift here on 2 points
We
at the
could
minute.
be,
Yet
we,
to take
we
victory.
could be cut adrift by December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So potentially something needs to change quickly for Wednesday to get out of this. But it's still early days. Don't get too worried yet, because you're only 8 games in.
As far as we are concerned, we are where I expected us to be, and I expect us to be most of the season. It's just a case of if we can turn this home form into some results away from home, we stand a squeak of a chance.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one team I am surprised that are struggling, and that's Coventry.
Me too.
I'm not.
No?
Just because of what they lost. They lost Harmon, they lost the goal scorer, they lost the creative midfielder, and they lost the goal scorer. And I think
Yeah, they
when
lost
you
Dicker,
lose that,
didn't they?
I think when you lose that, it's a lot to think, and they spent a lot of money to try and replace it, and so far it's just not worked. But if you look at what Coventry did last season, don't start particularly well and then build halfway through the season.
It could happen again.
Yeah.
Definitely could happen again.
Still early days. I think it's all a case of trying to stay in touching distance of 21st for as long as possible, and then it'll stay tight.
And let's face it, both us and Wednesday, we're still within touching distance.
Oh, God,
couple of wins, it could be, couple of wins mid-table.
Yeah, it's not a crisis yet. There we go. Got the word in, Lee.
Yeah. Love it.
Top of the table, Leicester. You'd expect them to run away with it the way that they've started, but Ipswich, hot on their tails, started superbly this season. And Preston, after that draw, dropped them down a couple of places, but they've started very, very well, probably.
And they're still unbeaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great start. So that takes us to the end of episode 45 of the 72 review. We will just we'll remove that and we will add the predictions league table. So a lot of red again from last week. Not too many positive predictions given from everybody there. As always, get your predictions in the chat. But Neil, Bradford fan, you have jumped to first on 25 points now. MTFC, Ian, myself, I had a good week. I pulled up to fourth. Then Lee, Bailey, Jake, Liam, Christian, Lizzie, Adam, ATID, Lewis, Jonathan, Burton, Worko, Abaddon, John, and Charlie make up the table. So we are predicting Sheff Wednesday versus Sunderland, Cardiff versus Rotherham, Wickham versus Carlisle, Barrow versus Donny, and MK Dons versus Harrogate. So we'll start with Jake. What are you going with these?
3-0 Sunderland.
Oof. I've gone 2-0 Sunderland.
1-1 Cardiff Rotherham.
Oh, thank you very
I've gone
much.
1-0 to Cardiff for you.
2-1 Carlisle.
I've gone the opposite. I've gone 2-1 to Wickham in this one.
Donny Rovers win 2-0.
Oh, thank you. I've gone with a 1-1.
And I'm going to say NK Don lose and Harrogate win 1-0. Smash and grab.
I've gone 2-1 MK Dons in that one. Ian, fire away, mate.
Right, I'm going Sheffield Wednesday 1, Sunderland 1.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm going Cardiff 3, Rotherham 0, because we can't play away from home. I'm going Wickham 3, Carlisle 0. I'm going Barrow 2, Rovers 2.
I'll take it.
And I'm going MK 4, Harrogate 1.
Wow. Big scoreline. Lee?
Sunderland to win 4-0 and we do an Ajax and riot. Cardiff to win 2-1. Sorry, Ian, mate.
All right, so fine. I'm expecting it.
Wickham to win 2-0. 1-1 Donny, and MK Dons to win 2-0.
2-0. Lovely stuff. So we'll get rid of that. So yeah, get your comments in for your predictions. I'll fill the table in and we will update you next week. But no, that's been a good show. I hope you guys have got a lot off your chest. Being a tough week for the Wednesday fans in particular. I really do hope it does turn around. I've been through the ringer over the last couple of years with Donny. We've had gradual decline in positions and finishes and performances. It does get better. Hopefully Chansiri can see it and he makes the right decision and turns it around for you guys. But I think that first win, it may give you that.
I'm hoping
that
that first win will give us that bounce and start. It'll snowball effect. But the problem is seeing when that first win's going to come from.
Yeah.
Look
They
what's
don't
happened
look
with
like it.
Rovers. Look what's
Yeah.
happened with Rovers.
Yeah.
They got that lucky win at Forest Green. They've not looked back.
Yeah, that's it. And that's all you might need, just that lucky win. Stay in the game and then it goes off somebody's backside and you get that 3 points and it just gives you that confidence that you need. So
yeah,
we will see. But no, we'll go around the screen. Any final words from Lee?
No, enjoyed the show. Glad to get it off my chest because it's quite frustrating being a Wednesday fan at the moment. Just can't see around the corner, but glad you guys have got the optimism because I certainly haven't at the minute. I've got my Rotherham season ticket, so I'm ready to go in.
Well, where's that Bristol game? Is that the Bristol game?
You'll get lynched next time you're at Hillsborough.
Well, I just realised, Dapper, this that's the clip we can put out. The season ticket, the Wednesday fan holding a Rotherham season ticket.
Just jot that down.
Yeah, get that right. He'll get crucified.
Ian, any final words, mate, before we round off?
Yeah, it's been a right load up. No, it's been great as usual. Great as usual. Enjoyed it.
Good stuff. Jake, any final words, mate?
Just remember that football brings us all together and it makes us all enjoy our club, whatever is going on. It brings people who are in really difficult times, who are having good time. But also remember, don't let football dictate your life too much, because if you let it do that, you're going to be miserable. Go outside, touch some grass, have some fun, spend time with family. I've spent most of this weekend building baby furniture and going, Christ, I'm going to have another one soon. So it's like, remember, there's more things to football, and I might get crucified for saying that, but there is.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, there isn't. I seem to keep on dipping out at the minute, so we will round it off and hopefully before my internet cuts out. So I will repeat.
He's gone.
What we'll do it for him. So thank you for watching this week. We'll see you in the next one because he's back.
Back. Go on, Dan.
I thought it was going to be
back to the
Chansiri to
start of
say
the
you're
video.
banned, Lee.
I thought he's something in it already.
That would have been weird. Dan swaps with Chansiri.
I'm going to have to get Dapper
Well,
a Chansiri Mac for the next one.
John, Chansiri's cut the stream.
Yeah. Well, let's finish this off before it does actually get cut off. What I wanted to say was, harking back to the start of the video, we've lost a number of people within the football community this week. Our DMs are always open. Do not suffer alone. We appreciate you watching, every single one of you. Even if one person was watching throughout the show, that means everything to us. As long as we can get you involved and make you enjoy a Sunday evening, that's enough for me. So thank you all for watching. Obviously, subscribe to all of these guys. Fantastic content. They deserve all of the success that they get. Subscribe to me if you haven't already. If you're watching this on repeat throughout the week, please get your comments in the section down below for your predictions and everything else. All that's left for me to say is thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Let's get off before Chansiri cuts us.
We've gone off there.
It's froze. We're still on.
As Barry Davis would say, just look at his face.
I think that